On the very night thunder split the sky and rain drowned the city streets, a woman with nothing but a soaked dress and broken dignity would unknowingly walk into the destiny stolen from her. And somewhere else, a man who thought success had made him untouchable was already counting the days to his downfall, without knowing it. Kola Adeyemi stood atop his newly acquired penthouse balcony, the city lights glittering like diamonds below him, as he raised a glass of imported whiskey to his reflection in the glass doors. He had just sealed the deal on his promotion to senior executive at Apex Corp, a position that came with a salary that could buy loyalty, or so he believed. His muscles, honed from hours at the gym, rippled under his tailored shirt as he laughed, recalling how far he'd come from the dusty streets of his childhood. Poverty was a ghost he had exorcised, replaced by luxury cars, designer suits, and the admiration of colleagues who envied his rapid ascent. But beneath the bravado, a seed of arrogance had taken root, whispering that he deserved more than the modest life he shared with his wife, Zainab. She had been his anchor through the lean years, cooking meals from scraps and encouraging him through rejections. Yet now, her simplicity embarrassed him in front of his flashy new circle. Kola's phone buzzed with a message from Tara, the bold temptress from the marketing department, her words dripping with seduction. "Can't wait to celebrate your win tonight. Wear that cologne I love." He grinned, his heart racing with the thrill of the forbidden. Tara was everything Zainab wasn't. Flashy, curvaceous, with a laugh that turned heads and a wardrobe that screamed opulence. Their affair had started innocently enough, a shared coffee break turning into late-night texts, then stolen kisses in the office parking lot. Kola justified it as a perk of his success. After all, hadn't he earned the right to upgrade? He pictured Zainab at home, probably folding laundry or reading one of her old books, her soft-spoken nature a stark contrast to Tara's fiery energy. The suspense built in his mind as he imagined confronting Zainab, the words, "I want a divorce," hanging like a storm cloud. Little did he know, this decision would unravel the threads of his carefully woven empire, pulling him into a web of irony and regret. As the evening wore on, Kola hosted a lavish party in his penthouse, the room filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and the scent of expensive perfumes. Femi, his best friend since childhood, slapped him on the back, cracking jokes about Kola's glow-up while eyeing Tara across the room. "Bro, you've hit the jackpot, but don't forget the little people like me," Femi quipped, his charming smile hiding a glint of opportunism. Kola roared with laughter, feeling invincible as Tara sidled up to him, her hand possessively on his arm. The romance sparked like fireworks, their flirtations drawing envious glances, but Zainab's absence loomed like an unspoken shadow. She had called earlier, her voice trembling with concern about his late hours, but he brushed her off. In a moment of comic hubris, Kola toasted to new beginnings, oblivious to the guests whispering about his wandering eyes. The night ended with Tara in his arms, their passion igniting under the city skyline, while Zainab sat alone in their old apartment, sensing the fracture but clinging to hope. The next morning, hangover pounding, Kola faced Zainab in their kitchen, her eyes wide with disbelief as he delivered the blow. "I've outgrown this life. Us," he said coldly, his arrogance masking the guilt flickering in his chest. Zainab, stunning in her quiet beauty, stood frozen, her curvy frame trembling as tears welled up. She had no family to fall back on, no safety net, yet her resilience shone through as she whispered, "You'll regret this, Kola." He laughed it off, packing her things with mechanical efficiency, the suspense of his new life thrilling him. But as she walked out the door, a distant thunder rumbled, foreshadowing the storm that would soon engulf him. Kola moved Tara in that very week, parading her on social media, believing he had traded up. The chapter closed with him staring at his reflection again, whispering, "This is just the beginning," unaware that fate was already plotting his reversal. Kola's new life with Tara exploded into a whirlwind of extravagance, his corporate success fueling nights out at exclusive clubs where champagne flowed like water and laughter echoed off velvet walls. He flexed his muscles in selfies with Tara, her seductive poses drawing likes and comments that fed his ego like oxygen. "Look at us, the power couple," he'd caption, ignoring the subtle digs from old friends about Zainab's sudden disappearance. Tara reveled in the spotlight, her bold personality clashing delightfully with Kola's arrogance, creating comedic moments like when she dragged him to a salsa class, his stiff moves eliciting roars of laughter from onlookers. Yet, beneath the glamour, suspense simmered. Kola noticed Tara's wandering eyes at parties, her flirtations with waiters and businessmen, a playful game that made his stomach twist. He brushed it off as her nature, focusing instead on the romance, candlelit dinners where she'd whisper promises of forever, her touch igniting fires he thought eternal. Femi became their constant companion, his street-smart humor lightening tense moments, like when Kola's boss, Mr. Adebayo, invited them to a company gala. "Don't mess this up, oh bro," Femi joked, mimicking Kola's pompous walk, drawing chuckles even from Tara. At the event, Kola introduced Tara as his future wife, her flashy dress turning heads, while Mr. Adebayo observed quietly, his principled gaze piercing through the facade. The older man, wealthy and disciplined, valued character over show, and Kola's overt pride rubbed him the wrong way. Romance bloomed in stolen dances, but suspense built as Tara confided in Femi during a smoke break, laughing about Kola's possessiveness. "He's fun, but commitment? Nah," she said, her words a hidden dagger. Kola, oblivious, basked in the applause for his latest project win, his ambition blinding him to the cracks forming. One evening, after a heated argument, where Tara accused Kola of being too controlling, he proposed impulsively, kneeling with a diamond ring that cost a month's salary. Her hesitation was a comedic beat. Eyes wide, she stammered, "I'm not ready yet," before bursting into laughter, turning it into a joke. Kola played along, but inside, doubt gnawed like a rat in the walls. Actions escalated as he showered her with gifts, a sports car, exotic trips to beaches where they'd frolic in the waves, her seductive allure pulling him deeper. Yet, Zainab's memory haunted him in quiet moments, her quiet strength a contrast to Tara's volatility. Suspense peaked when Femi pulled Kola aside. "Watch your back, man. Not everyone's as loyal as they seem," his words laced with irony that Kola dismissed with a laugh. As months passed, Kola's arrogance peaked at a corporate retreat, where he boasted about his upgrade in front of colleagues, drawing awkward silence. Tara, ever the attention seeker, flirted shamelessly with a rival executive, her actions a suspenseful tease that left Kola seething. Comedy ensued when Femi diffused the tension with a prank, swapping Kola's speech notes with ridiculous jokes, turning embarrassment into reluctant applause. But the romance soured subtly. Tara's texts grew sparse, her excuses flimsy. Kola, image-obsessed, doubled down on public displays, unaware that fate was aligning stars against him. The chapter ended with him alone in bed, Tara out with friends, whispering to himself, "She's mine forever," as thunder rumbled distantly, echoing the storm to come. Thunder cracked like a whip across the darkened sky, rain pounding the streets in relentless sheets as Zainab staggered forward, her soaked dress clinging to her curvy frame like a second skin. She had no umbrella, no coat, just the remnants of her dignity shattered by Kola's betrayal. Hours earlier, eviction papers had arrived. The apartment she once called home now belonged to Tara's whims. With no family to turn to, her orphan past a cruel reminder, Zainab wondered aimlessly, the code seeping into her bones, each step a battle against despair. Suspense built as shadows loomed in alleyways, her quiet strength the only shield against the night's dangers. She collapsed near a gleaming corporate building,
Apex Corp's logo mocking her from above, her breath shallow as hopelessness enveloped her like the rain. Mr. Adebayo, leaving late from a board meeting, spotted her huddled form through his car's windshield, wipers slashing the downpour. The wealthy executive, known for his calm demeanor and principled life, felt a pang of compassion unusual for his stoic nature. He stepped out, umbrella in hand, approaching cautiously. "Miss, are you all right?" His voice cut through the storm, kind yet authoritative. Zainab looked up, her stunning beauty undimmed by the rain, eyes reflecting a resilience that intrigued him instantly. He insisted on helping, wrapping his coat around her shivering shoulders, the action sparking an unexpected romance in the making, his touch gentle, her gratitude profound. Comedy flickered when his driver honked impatiently, Mr. Adebayo waving him off with a rare smile. "Patience, man. Fit don't you wait for traffic?"
In his luxurious town car, warmth enveloped Zainab as Mr. Adebayo drove her to a nearby hotel he owned, refusing her weak protests. Over hot tea in the lobby, her soft-spoken words revealed fragments of her story, the loyal wife discarded for flashier pursuits. He listened intently, his observant eyes noting her intelligence and grace, qualities he valued in a world of superficiality. Suspense mounted as he offered temporary shelter in a suite, promising no strings, yet his heart stirred with admiration. "Strength like yours is rare," he said, the words hanging like a promise. Zainab, emotionally grounded, felt a spark of hope, her pain easing in his presence, the romance budding subtly amid the storm's aftermath. As dawn broke, Zainab awoke to breakfast delivered by Mr. Adebayo himself, his disciplined routine including a personal touch that charmed her. They talked for hours, her quiet pain unfolding, his stories of building an empire inspiring her. Actions intensified when he arranged job interviews for her, his network a lifeline. Comedy arose from her fumbling attempts at corporate lingo, him chuckling warmly, "You're a natural, don't overthink it." But suspense lingered. Unbeknownst to them, Kola's world orbited nearby, their paths destined to collide. The chapter closed with Zainab staring at the city from her window, whispering, "Maybe this is my turning point," as thunder echoed faintly, a reminder of the night's twist. Zainab's days blurred into a tapestry of transformation under Mr. Adebayo's quiet mentorship, his sprawling mansion becoming her temporary haven where luxury met humility. He introduced her to books on business and self-empowerment, her intelligence blooming like a flower in fertile soil. Morning started with shared coffees on the terrace, his calm presence a balm to her wounded heart, romance simmering in stolen glances and meaningful conversations. "You've endured more than most, yet you stand tall," he'd say, his principled gaze making her blush. Suspense built as whispers of their unlikely bond spread through social circles, society questioning the older man's interest in the discarded wife. Zainab, resilient and hardworking, threw herself into a new job at a subsidiary firm, her quiet strength earning respect from colleagues who once pitied her. Evenings brought comedy in unexpected forms, Mr. Adebayo attempting to cook traditional meals for her, his disciplined hands fumbling with spices, resulting in hilarious disasters that ended in laughter and takeout. "I'm better at boardrooms than kitchens," he'd admit, his rare vulnerability drawing them closer. Romance deepened during a moonlit walk in his garden, where he confessed his admiration for her grace, their first kiss a tender spark amid blooming flowers. Actions escalated as he helped her navigate legal remnants of her divorce, his support unwavering. But intrigue loomed. Kola, across town, heard vague rumors of Zainab's good fortune, dismissing them with arrogance, unaware of the web tightening. Zainab's confidence soared, her curvy figure now clad in elegant attire that accentuated her beauty without ostentation. She volunteered at orphanages, her past fueling empathy, while Mr. Adebayo watched proudly, his love growing. Suspense peaked during a charity event where they appeared together, her poise turning heads, him defending her against snide comments with quiet authority. Character outshines circumstance, he declared, the words a theme echoing their bond. Comedy interjected when a jealous socialite spilled wine on Zainab, only for her to respond with graceful humor, diffusing tension and winning allies. As weeks turned to months, Mr. Adebayo's proposal came under a starry sky, a simple ring symbolizing true value over flash. Zainab accepted, her heart mended by his kindness, the romance culminating in a private ceremony that shocked the elite. But the twist lingered. Kola's discovery was imminent, fate disguising coincidence as karma. The chapter ended with them toasting to new beginnings, Zainab whispering, "You've given me wings," oblivious to the storm brewing for her ex. Kola's pursuit of Tara intensified, his arrogance fueling extravagant gestures like chartering a private jet for a weekend in Paris, where they'd stroll hand in hand along the Seine, her seductive laughter echoing. "This is the life I deserve," he'd boast, muscles flexing in selfies against the Eiffel Tower. Romance flared in candlelit dinners, but suspense crept in. Tara's "not ready" echoed, her commitment phobia a hidden minefield. Comedy erupted when Kola attempted a romantic serenade, his off-key singing drawing amused crowds, Tara giggling uncontrollably. Actions mounted as he bought her a yacht, naming it after her. Yet her eyes wandered to Femi during group outings, their inside jokes a subtle betrayal. Femi's charm masked opportunism, his street-smart quips lightening Kola's growing frustration, like when Tara cancelled plans for girls' night. Femi joking, "Women, am I right?" But intrigue built. Secret texts between Tara and Femi revealed mockery of Kola's desperation. Kola, image-obsessed, hosted lavish parties to impress her. The romance strained by her disinterest in marriage talks. Suspense heightened during a heated argument on the yacht, waves crashing as she stormed off, leaving him alone with doubts. Meanwhile, Zainab's world flourished, her marriage to Mr. Adebayo a beacon of true love, their honeymoon in serene countryside filled with quiet passion and deep conversations. Comedy arose from Mr. Adebayo's attempts at dancing, his disciplined steps comically rigid, Zainab's laughter melting his reserve. Actions included her promotion at work, her resilience shining. But a twist approached. Kola overheard whispers at a bar about his boss's new wife, dismissing it as coincidence. Kola doubled down, proposing again in a hot air balloon, Tara's hesitation turning to outright refusal. "I love the fun, not the forever." Heartbroken yet proud, he laughed it off publicly, but inside cracks formed. Femi consoled him with beers and jokes, his loyalty a facade. The chapter closed with Kola staring at engagement photos, whispering, "She'll come around," as fate chuckled in the shadows. Tara's secret rendezvous with Femi escalated, their laughter echoing in hidden cafes where they'd mock Kola's gifts, her bold nature finding thrill in the betrayal. "He is so predictable," she would say, Femi's charming grin agreeing as they shared stolen kisses. Suspense built as Kola noticed her absences, his arrogance blinding him to the obvious. Comedy peaked during the double date gone wrong, Femi accidentally spilling secrets that hinted at the affair, Kola laughing it off as jests. Romance for Tara and Femi ignited in passionate nights, contrasting Kola's lonely pursuits. Zainab, now Mrs. Adebayo, radiated in her new life, her quiet strength complementing her husband's principles. Their romance deepened in travels to exotic locales, actions like horseback riding bringing adventure. Intrigue mounted when society gossiped about the upgrade, Zainab's grace silencing critics. Comedy interjected in family gatherings, Mr. Adebayo's stern facade cracking with her playful teasing. Kola's world tittered, a workplace rumor of misconduct, fabricated by a rival, adding suspense. He confided in Femi, who nodded sympathetically while plotting. Tara announced her engagement to Femi publicly, the twist humiliating Kola at a party, guests whispering as he forced a smile. The revelation hit. At a corporate event, Kola saw Zainab on Mr. Adebayo's arm, her glow a dagger. "My ex, my boss's wife?" he stammered, suspense exploding.
The chapter ended with him fleeing, the irony crushing.
Betrayals cascaded like dominoes. Tara's wedding to Femi, a lavish affair where Kola watched from afar, his pride shattered. Comedy mixed with pain as Femi's best man speech subtly mocked him, guests chuckling. Actions intensified with Kola confronting them, fists clenched, but Femi's charm diffused it into awkward laughter. Romance for the new couple flourished, Tara's attention hunger sated temporarily. At work, accusations mounted, Mr. Adebayo firing Kola coldly. Character matters. Suspense peaked as Kola realized the connections. His ex, now his ex-boss's wife. He spiraled, jobless and abandoned, friends deserting him. Zainab thrived, her life a testament to humility, romance with Mr. Adebayo unwavering. Intrigue lingered in chance encounters, her kindness contrasting his fall. Kola's rock bottom came in isolation, reflections on lost loyalty haunting him. The chapter closed with him begging Femi for help, only to be rejected. Kama's silence deafening. Kola stood alone at a bus stop one evening, watching luxury cars pass, one of them carrying his former wife, now glowing beside the man who replaced him in every way. She doesn't mock him, she doesn't look back, and that silence hurts more than any insult ever could. Rain drizzled, mirroring his tears as memories flooded. The arrogance that cost him Zainab's loyalty, the lust for Tara that blinded him to Femi's opportunism. Suspense resolved in quiet realization. He had chased illusions, discarding true value for fake upgrades. Comedy faded into irony, his once muscular frame now slumped, the gym forgotten amid despair. Zainab's life bloomed fully, her marriage a haven of love, actions like building orphanages channeling her resilience. Romance endured in simple moments, Mr. Adebayo's principles her anchor. She heard of Kola's fall through whispers, but chose forgiveness, her strength in humility shining. Kola attempted redemption, applying for menial jobs, his pride humbled. A chance meeting with old acquaintances brought comedic humility, their pity stinging. But growth emerged. He volunteered, echoing Zainab's path, fate teaching through loss. The story converged. The woman he discarded untouchable, the job his downfall, the friend his thief, the boss his rewriter. Sometimes, success doesn't change who you are, it only reveals it. And sometimes, losing everything is the only way to learn what truly mattered.
If you enjoyed this story, you should also enjoy the story on the screen.